How you doing?
Okay, good.
Good. Got you on the first try. All right, perfect. A lot of questions from viewers. I'm going to ask oh, there we go. Big box stores. What big box stores got fined this week?
So the province did a blitz of big box stores through the Ministry of Labor. And I know there was 3 or 4 tickets handed out in Brampton, relatively for minor offenses. I know there was a lunchroom fine for a big box store where people weren't 6 feet apart in the lunch room. But the province allows still such significant capacity into big box stores that when the provincial Ministry of Labor officials came into the big box stores, they were all under the provincial threshold in terms of capacity.
No, and we still can't name them in Brampton or in Peel?
So I believe because they're not laid by the city of Brampton, they're laid by the Ministry of Labor. I believe that their names are available at the courthouse when the
Okay.
Ministry of Labor presses lays charges.
How many tickets did the city of Brampton lay this past week? Have they been good? Have
Yeah,
people been out?
there wasn't many. People have been pretty good. It was 10 or 12 or so. We, like I've said before, we have a high level of compliance right now compared to what it was in the summer.
Okay. Numbers are going down. That's obviously a good sign. With the numbers going down, do you see Brampton getting out of lockdown anytime soon, or into the red zone?
Well, I think it's fair to say we saw a Christmas and New Year's bump. I think there was a number of social gatherings. Whether we like it or not, I think it's fair to say there was. And that bump seems to be diminishing. Now, there are complications. There are new variants that are entering our environment, and so there are concerns that that's an existing threat. But the fact the numbers are going down is a good sign, and hopefully that when the provincial lockdown finishes on February 10th, they'll allow Peel Region to come out of it.
Okay. I think the biggest match that's going on, or the biggest ping pong match that's going on right now, is about sick pay. And obviously, this is about people's lives. What is the latest on that?
Well, I believe the province and the federal government will be speaking about it. But I've been steadfast in my opinion that this is a tool we need to fight COVID-19. Look where the spread's happening. Look where the transmission's happening. It's happening in these industrial settings. And the best way to combat it is to make sure that people have this social safety net, that they don't have to go to work sick. There are a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck, and I want them to know that if they get COVID or they need to get tested, that they're not going to lose the ability to put food on the table or pay their rent. And so the Canadian Recovery Sickness Benefit isn't good enough. Whatever provincial programs exist, they are not good enough, and so this needs to be addressed.
Let's talk about isolation centers in Brampton. What's the uptake on this now? Are people staying in them?
So it just started this week, so we'll have a better idea in the weeks to come, because right now we're still in the process of letting people know that this is an option.
Okay. And then vaccination centers. There was a huge vaccination center that opened up in Toronto last week to obviously no supply, right? So they had to close it down. Is Brampton ready when the vaccines come into the country?
Yeah, so Brampton and Mississauga have sites identified, and with provincial approval, we'll be able to open those up. And then, of course, we need vaccines, and the vaccines are coming from the federal government. And so we're ready and eager to go as soon as the supply is available.
You did mention, I think it was this week, that when the vaccines do come into the country, they should come to Brampton and Peel first. What are your thoughts?
And what we're arguing is that right now, for example, Ottawa got more vaccines, and Ottawa has less population, less COVID positivity, less ICU capacity numbers, less hospitalization. So it didn't make sense. What Mayor Crombie, myself, and Mayor Thompson, Michelle Manuel at Trillium, Naveed Mohammed at OSA were arguing is that there has to be some correlation with population and COVID outbreaks.
We're going to go off COVID-19 here. In a committee meeting that it said that your council and yourself social media accounts got hacked. Were any charges laid? And was this related to the earlier report that a cyber attack that involved former city employees?
No, the former city employee was from before my time at Brampton City Hall. That was a number of years back that there was a privacy breach that we reported to the police. In terms of the more recent one, is there was a scheme where they would replicate your Messenger account and send out messages that that says you can get a government grant, but you have to put down a deposit. And so it's not someone hacking into your account. They actually replicate your account. And so people were being tricked. I know in the case of Councillor Santos, one of her constituents actually made a deposit to get the grant. The good news is the PRP did a phenomenal job, the Peel Police. They were able to find out, who was doing this. The challenge, though, is you have to get to it quick. You have to know right away if the police are going to be able to get these people. Cybercrime is a new warfare, and so we're looking into technology that will allow us to know immediately when a city of Brampton or a councillor account is replicated.
Did your account get hacked as well?
Yeah, so no one was taken advantage of through my account. So there's no one like with Councillor Santos where someone went and made a deposit at a bank. But there was replicated messages that were sent from my account as well. And I'm thankful the Peel Police were able to find out that it was the same group that was doing this to a number of officials. And that one cybercrime group has been shut down. But let's not be naive. There'll be others that emerge, and we have to be prepared. There's cybercrime is becoming more and more present.
So the guys that did this got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Let's talk about photo radar. One article that blew up on the media was how the photo radar boxes in Brampton made $1 million in tickets. Some people say it's a money grab. What are your thoughts on this?
So in the first 6 months we were using this technology, the cost of running the system was equivalent to the ticket revenue that was brought in. And so it wasn't a money maker for the city, and we'll continually, look at this to make sure that it's not. The purpose is not for it to be a revenue tool. The purpose is to get people speeding in school zones under control. We've had a number of fatal accidents that we have to do more to combat street racing. And if someone wants to be an idiot and speed in front of a school, well, they risk getting a ticket. Now, having said that, if someone's 2 miles or 2 kilometers over the limit, I don't think they should be getting a ticket. I think there needs to be sort of like a goodwill, measurement. Maybe it's, people that go 10% over are going to get a ticket. I think reasonable people can always agree. But, we've had some egregious cases where people, have really been driving recklessly in community safety zones, and that's not right.
Is that 10% over the limit going to be put into the computer system to allow them to go 10% over the speed limit?
Yeah, and those are the things that we're looking at as this new program evolves.
Okay. A couple of weeks ago, you mentioned that the long-term care centers in Brampton everybody will be vaccinated. Is that the case?
It's done. It's a Monday. All long-term care centers for people willing to be vaccinated have been vaccinated.
Awesome. Okay.
But that's the first shot. They still have to get the second shot.
Okay. Second shot's there though, right?
Yep.
Yep. Perfect. All right. In regards to, obviously, the economy is going to open up in time. What is Brampton going to do to ignite the economy once we're allowed to open up?
So I think there's going to be a real thirst for activity. There's a lot of things that have been put on hold during the pandemic, and so I think there's going to be a torrent of economic activity. Not to mention, I think there'll be some stimulus programs with all levels of government building infrastructure. But we can't get ahead of ourselves. We still have this pandemic to get through, and there's still some tough months ahead.
Toronto is looking at summer events already, Pride, Canada Day, Caravana, things like that. And they're going to make a decision fairly soon. Is Brampton looking at summer events in regards to whether or not they're going to happen?
So we haven't got to the point that we're looking at canceling summer events yet, just to know that we've been monitoring all of this closely. And if we get to a point where public health says there's no pathway in which you can host Canada Day, then we'll cancel it. But I think it's premature to be making those cancellations yet.
Okay, perfect. And then a couple of viewer questions here. There was one, and this is just verbatim straight from Instagram. Why is there security not allowing people to get on toboggan hills? Is there security at toboggan hills?
Tobogganing is fine. You're allowed to at your own risk.
Okay. What kind of indoor sports are available during lockdown?
The province has shut down all indoor sports.
Okay. And last one, have we seen the UK variant in Brampton or any other variant?
Yes, our medical officer of health, I believe, in his last briefing mentioned that there was a case of the UK variant in Peel region.
Okay, perfect. Those are all my questions. Anything you want to add or anything you guys are working on? Or
no, just keep on watching in B-Town.
Okay, all right, thanks. All right, have a good weekend.
You too.
Take care.